Take number fucking 5. I've been trying to shoot this video for 5 times in a row and I got distracted by everything. Passion, purpose over passion. Purpose over passion. What does that actually mean? I got these 2 girls watching me. That's hilarious. Anyways, purpose over passion. Look, I'm a passionate guy. I love what I do. I love to work out. I love to bodybuild. But even in those statements, I run a business on helping people. I have a passion for bodybuilding. I love to help people, but I love to work out. I love to eat my meals. What does it mean to pick purpose over passion? If you would have asked me 8 hours ago, Alex, is following your passion very important in life? I would have been like, absolutely. But that's not the case anymore. And here's why. I was having a conversation with one of my clients, one of my good friends, and he owns a couple businesses. And he's been helping me out recently with my business, my personal training business. And as he's asking me a couple questions, he says to me, Alex, I love you, man, but you have a really big ego. And I'm like, yeah, absolutely. Like, I'll admit it, I have a big ego, but I'm proud of my ego. Because in my head, I'm like, I'm just trying to help people build this business the way I want to build it. I want to lead from the front. I want to take care of people, but I want to be the leader and I want to be the example. And after that, he told me that, Alex, I know a lot of people who are very successful and they don't really have that much of an ego. As where I know some people who have a big ego and they have a very successful business as well. But it made me curious. It made me very curious. I went this morning and I have a book called The Ego is the Enemy by Brian Holiday. And he wrote the book, The Obstacle is the Way, which has helped me out a lot. And he's wrote the book, Daily Stoic. And so I believe a lot in the Stoics and their Stoic philosophy. And look into it if you haven't heard of it. And so as I was reading it, as I was going through some of the chapters, I found one that said, don't chase passion or don't pursue passion. And it blew my mind. And I'm like, what do you mean don't pursue passion? And the crazy thing is, this is a book about the ego and I'm all about passion. Immediately I started listening to that chapter because it spoke to me. And this is what I mean by that. In the morning process, when you're up this early and you're close to God, He will send you messages. He will lead you to where you need to go. God guides you. And so as I was listening to this chapter, one thing that stood out, he said, when you pursue passion, you're pursuing pleasure. And one of the quotes that I live by is like purpose over pleasure, right? And so I'm like, how is pursuing passion a pleasurable thing? And I'm like, I have a passion for this. I love doing this. Like, I have a passion for bodybuilding and it's very focused on me, not everybody else. And it made me realize that he says, when you're doing purpose, it's like, I do this for them. I am sacrificing this for them. It's about them. When it comes to purpose, it's doing something bigger than yourself. When you're bodybuilding, you're doing something for yourself. Now, why is that so important? Because in business, your focus is helping other people. Now, I've had a personal training business, and to be honest with you guys, it's been a very unsuccessful personal training business at times. Yes, I opened up a gym. Yes, I had clients. But if I'm being honest, I've trained enough people to always just get by, to take care of me. I've made enough money to cover my living, cover my food, and allow me to do bodybuilding. But I haven't made enough money to really help out my mother if she needed it, help out my brother if he needed it. I haven't made enough money if anything like that were to happen. I've just been like, I'm gonna take care of me because my dreams come before anybody else, right? Which has also stopped me from helping more people. It's also put me sometimes in a very bad financial spot. Because all I kept doing was pursuing my passion, which is bodybuilding. And there's a reason why bodybuilding doesn't pay that much money at all, if anything, not until you get to like the pros or the Olympia, because it's a self-centered sport. Bodybuilding is a self-centered sport. And I'm not saying you can't get fit and still prosper, but if you make some of the mistakes that I've made, and I made bodybuilding my number one thing over everything, you won't be in the best financial spot. And that's what I realized, that man, that book just taught me why I am where I am. Like I still drive what Wes Watson calls a shit bucket. Like I still have my 2008 Toyota Corolla that I've had for 10 years. But why? Because number one, it's got me to where I needed to go, right? But it's also a form of settling. I've settled to drive this car for the past 10 years because I haven't helped enough people out. My purpose to help more people and to put my feelings aside hasn't been the situation. I've been like, you know what? I'll help just enough people to make sure I can still do bodybuilding and still take care of myself. Passion, because it's my passion, which is pleasure. And it's a lot about the ego. My ego of like, I need to be this great bodybuilder. I need to be the world's fucking most, which there's nothing wrong with it, but it will not always give you what you want. I don't want to be broke. I don't want to be always driving this shit bucket. I don't want to not be able to help my mother out. Oh, I can't help my mother out if she needs help financially. Why not? Well, because I only have enough money for me. Selfish, ego. So when we pick purpose over passion, we're putting the things that are really actually important in our lives in front of something that we also enjoy. Now, I'm not saying you can't do your passion. I can still bodybuild. I can do, but I should not be pursuing things just because I have a passion for it. And in life as men, we have responsibility. We have a bigger purpose in life, and it's to help more people. So if in your life you find yourself not in a place physically good, it's because you might be doing other shit that's not really benefiting you. You might be doing things that are not giving you the things you need to become the man that you want to become. And being fit, sometimes maybe you might be the other way around. Maybe you don't have enough passion for yourself. Maybe you don't have a big enough ego, okay? Because there's two fucking ways they can go. My big ego also got me pretty shredded. My big ego also got me a gym. My big ego got me to live by myself. My big ego got me a dog and got me the girls that I've had, okay? So there's two sides to the coin, okay? Having a big ego isn't bad either, but it's recognizing what is it costing you as well. So maybe you need to lift your ego up. Maybe you need to grow your ego. Maybe you need to focus more on you if you're not happy with where you're at physically and even financially, because you can't help other people if you're a bum. You can't help other people if you have no value. So maybe you need to raise your ego and put more effort into yourself so you become valuable, and then lower the ego and help everybody else out. Check your ego. Where is it at? It might be too low. There's nothing wrong with the healthy ego. It's about finding that balance. I went to the extreme. Now I'm turning it around and putting the ego aside and making purpose much more valuable. Help more people, Alex. Make more phone calls. Help more people. Put your ego aside. Don't just make enough for yourself. Because I don't want to just be ripped. I want to be rich and rare. And that comes from helping more people. If you want to make $1 million, help 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people. Okay? Check your ego. Where is it at? Is it a little too low? Or is it too high? Check yourself. Much love.